Hi there, everyone. This is Hal Feldman. I've got Mayor Joe Corradino of Pinecrest on the line here. We've done quite a few of these, but this one's going to be a little bit special. It is May 15th, Friday, and we've recently got some news about what's going to be happening in the county of Dade County on Monday, and that, of course, includes Pinecrest. Joe, tell us what the big news is about our exit or beginning of exit from coronavirus and the quarantine.
Well, Hal, we've been in this situation for over 2 months, and the mayor of the county has announced last week that he was going to attempt to do a partial reopening of the non-essential businesses on Monday, the 18th. And so this week, and in fact, I think it was just yesterday or the day before, he sent out an extensive list of guidelines for how to get these places back into business to some extent. And I just got off the telephone. He's got an executive order that he should sign today that will allow that to happen. So we're all waiting for that executive order to be signed. And if so, Pinecrest is prepared to be working with its businesses so that they can reopen to a certain extent on Monday. This doesn't mean that the stay-at-home orders or any of that has been lifted. It means that they've been modified. This document that he's got is about 180 pages worth of regulations. We are in the process of doing telephone calls with all the groups of businesses that are opening up and making sure that everybody understands the rules and helping them get all the things in place that are necessary. It's extensive social distancing, capacity requirements inside, the wearing of masks, and those types of things. So a lot of rules that we're putting in place. We'll also be able to certify that the businesses have all the things in place so that when we as individuals tend to go out into the stores, we know that they're safe, but I can't stress enough, this disease is going to be with us not only into the summer and into the fall and the winter. So anybody that's vulnerable, continue what you're doing, stay distant. If you have to go out, wear the mask and stay 6 feet away from other people. So that's good news, Hal. We're moving in the right direction. We
certainly seem to be. And one of the things that I'd hope you can do is to tell us, listen, there's 180 pages. That's a lot of things to go through and understand. But the reality is that the general public doesn't need to know all those details. It's really the businesses that are trying to open up. How can I, if I walk into a store, know that that business is complying with what they're supposed to be doing? And, is there anything extra that I should be doing now, frequenting more and more businesses starting this coming Monday, that I didn't do during quarantine when I needed to just go to a grocery store or something that was essential?
Well, I'm going to urge everybody to continue doing what they're doing, right? Be out minimally. When you're out, to stay distant, wear masks. You can be assured that the Village of Pinecrest is meeting with each and every one of the businesses to make sure that they know what the rules are. We all understand the rules. We're also going to be enforcing it. We're going to be visiting each of the businesses and then certifying their compliance. So we'll put a little sticker out there that says, okay, each business is opened up correctly. And then we'll go back in, and we haven't really had problems in Pinecrest. We'll go back in on occasion and just kind of double check it and help everybody stay in compliance, which I think we won't have a problem with. So the village and the businesses are working closely together to make sure that we satisfy all the requirements.
Joe, I have to kind of ask an interesting question because by the time people watch this, and certainly by Monday, they're going to have a sense of what they should be doing from all the major media. But I wanted to kind of ask you this very different question. I think if we all take a step back and don't politicize things and we don't get on one side or the other, because there really isn't a separate side, you can almost look at this from two perspectives. There's no perfect answer on how to get back to a normal situation. You could look at this as, listen, medically, what is the absolute best solution? And that quite honestly is to continue to stay quarantined until either a vaccine is out there or this thing is eradicated. Obviously, that's not possible. It's just not feasible, but that's the perfect answer in a medical sense. Then we have an answer on how to get back economically and with a mindset of trying to find that normal again. And, you know, if we did that, then we'd be compromising on the medical side. So you are squarely kind of in the middle of that because you do have a seat in government. The government is the one that's ultimately dictating how we try to recover to normal. And that maybe not at your level, at Pinecrest level, but in a lot of politics, puts people at risk for their jobs, right? You know, if they make the right decision, everybody cheers them. But if it's on the wrong side of history, bad things can happen. So tell me how you get a sense of how the county and maybe even the state or at a country level is dealing with this and trying to make the right decision overall while still maintaining their political state, because obviously they want a job too.
Well, I can't speak for the state, but I can speak for the county and all the cities in Miami-Dade County. We've worked together on setting the goal, measuring the statistics, forming the rules for the phases that we're going to go through to reopen. And the fact of the matter is that we understand the goal. The goal was not to eradicate the disease. The goal was to maintain the capacity of the healthcare system and change the trajectory of the disease. And to that end, we needed to make a lot of sacrifices, and we did. And up until this point, the latest statistics that I looked at today that we've been tracking since March shows that there are 80% of the hospital capacity is open at this point in time. That being said, the goal then was to change the trajectory of the disease. So we're following the federal CDC gateway guidelines for opening it up. And those guidelines say that for the past 2 weeks, you need to have had a downward trend in COVID-like or flu-like symptoms entering your hospital system. It says that you need to have a downward trend in positive tests and the percentage of tests that have tested positive. It says that you need to have the ability to test at-risk people easily and frequently. And we have met each and every one of those criteria. So you're right, it is also now an economic problem. We have to realize that according to the United Way, close to 60% of the households in Miami-Dade County are asset limited, right? They're on the edge. And this, if we could be on the edge of an economic catastrophe. So we're balancing those two things. We've accomplished the first two goals. We've met the federal criteria going in. And now it's time to do, again, the stay-at-home orders they're just being modified. And we're slowly going to reinvigate the business community. And as we continue to measure the medical statistics, if we have to go backwards, we will. And if not, we continue these positive trends medically, we'll be able to take the next step and do an even more, go even further with the reopening of the businesses. So this is a scientific approach, safety first, medical first, but we do have an economic component in it.
That's a great answer, and I appreciate that candor that you had. I did want to ask, hey, you know what? When things start to open on Monday, where are the first places you're going to frequent? Because it's been a long time since I got a haircut by a professional. Actually, I did get a home haircut, and it's, you know what, it's not bad. But where are you going to go frequent, and what's the first thing that you're looking forward to?
Me, personally, I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing. And I have the ability to work remotely, so I'm going to continue to work remotely. I don't need a whole bunch of stuff. I've gotten very used to the delivery of groceries and those types of things. I'll likely continue to do that as much as possible. If I need to go to Publix or any of the other stores, I will be making sure I have my face covering on, making sure I'm practicing the distancing and great hygiene. So I'm going to continue to practice very much of the things that we've been practicing for the last 8 weeks.
Well, you know, a little bit of a surprise answer, because we've been talking about this session after session about you coming over and spending a little pool time here. And there was a clarification that was made from the last session to now, and that is that private pools in people's houses, pools that are at a townhouse are allowed to be open at this point. Anything public, and that would unfortunately still include the condominium that I'm at, are still under rules to stay closed. And any sense in those rules starting on Monday if the pool rules might be relaxed? I know that tennis is open, but only for single play, if I'm not mistaken. And there's a couple other really fine points. So tell us about recreation. And hopefully the next session we do, you can be at my pool and we can do a 6 feet apart live session together.
We are moving in that direction. Recreation remains the same. The county is now starting conversations about organized sports, summer camps, and those types of things. So as we progress, as we monitor the statistics, and we are assured that we continue to go in the right direction, these types of things will begin to loosen up. So that's all a work in progress. And again, it's safety first, right? We're monitoring the statistics. Everything that's done is done in conjunction with professionals in each of the industries, plus medical professionals that vet those decisions and ultimately endorse them as safe as possible.
So as we wrap up here, I know that you are always very impressed with the staff and your fellow council people in Pinecrest. I want to give them a shout out. They're always doing great things for us. If people in Pinecrest want specific information that's up to the minute, where on the website can they go? Or is there another resource that they also should be checking?
No, we just go to our website. We have a COVID banner there, and that will direct you to all the resources you need. We have access to all of the county's orders and Pinecrest orders, and to all of the sets of rules that are out. So you can find anything you need there, or give us a call. You know, our staff is always available. Same with me and the council. We're here. We're putting in the time to make sure that this is as painless as possible for our neighbors.
Well, as I always finish up, be kind. I know that actually I've had a pretty smooth time here at home, but at times, you know, you see somebody 24/7 for as many days in a row as we have. You know, be good to each other inside the home. Be good to people online. And Joe, you've been very good to me. I appreciate you.